This is back, and next up, we're going to be talking to LFA 3 headliner Ryan Spann. Thank you for the time. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You're sitting right now, as we talk to you, about 10 days away from fight night. How are you feeling?
Man, I feel great, man. I'm just ready to let it happen, man. Just ready for it to be here. So hurry up and wait. Yeah.
Back down to middleweight. What's that been like?
It's been a journey. But it really don't matter, man. I go where the fight's at, man. I'm collecting belts, so it don't matter where I end up being.
This fight, a main event fight. What are your thoughts on, again, getting this privilege in Lake Charles, right where you're training?
All right, it's an honor, man. To be headlining another event. Especially for the newly formed LFA promotion. So it's definitely an honor.
The last fight didn't go your way. What was the process following that fight? What did you look at? How did you evaluate? Where was your mindset moving forward?
It was rough. I mean, I learned a lot, as far as being able to set things aside in my personal life so it wouldn't affect me. We rebuild, and now we finna, become and reconquer. So it was rough at first, but now it made us better.
Mentally, were you there? Were you in that fight, or were you distracted?
I wasn't there. I'll be honest. I really wasn't. But like I said, it made me better. God put obstacles in our path for a reason. There's a plan in it all. So, it happens. It happens. It made me better.
Now, do you look back at that performance and really say to yourself that you don't recognize that person in the cage?
I haven't really watched it that much, but yeah, I don't know, man. It just that's not who everyone's gonna see come February 10th.
Now, working towards that night, what kind of camp have you put together? What's the length been, and what have you been working on?
I've just been working on getting better, getting stronger, getting, faster, putting everything together, working on being a better version of me. My camp always makes sure that everything is fine, between, my guys at Performance Evolution in Lake Charles, and even consulting with my coaches out in Memphis, Judo and Jiu-Jitsu. I haven't really been able to make it out there for this fight. So they still, we still consult on things as far as like what we need to do and how we're looking in camp. But we're just working on getting better. We're not really worried about the opponent. He can drop out tomorrow for all I care. I really like for him to show up. But it don't matter who comes in. We don't really care. We're just showing up with the best Ryan Spann possible. My camp, my brother, my family, we're all making sure that everything is going accordingly, making sure everything is right.
Now, talking about the opponent, undefeated, also a Texas boy in Trevin, does that give any extra motivation, or is that just nice storylines for posters and headlines?
It's a storyline, really. I really don't have any extra motivation. I got 2 kids, so that's all the motivation I need. My family, my kids are gonna eat. I don't care who shows up. It'd be nice for him to be there. He's undefeated. It's really all show to me. Personally, I don't really feel like, honestly, he fought anybody. And we've been trying to make this fight for well over a year, and for whatever reason we couldn't get it done. But after he looked at my last fight, now he think he found a chink in the armor, which is fine. That's cool. We got the fight, so he's actually finally accepted. So that's cool.
So I don't know
but
if you.
I don't really need that. My kids are gonna eat. My kids are gonna have a better life than I have had. So I don't really care about motivation as far as that. But I do like fighting undefeated people because I'm not allowed to be undefeated, so I'm not gonna let anybody else be undefeated.
So looking at his competitions, the fights you've seen, he's been in the RFA legacy. You'd say not stacking up to what you're bringing to the cage.
No, not at all. He hasn't fought, if I'm not mistaken, one world-class opponent. Yeah, I fought, I done fought for the legacy title on 2 occasions, and both of them have been against guys who can go into the UFC and compete for their respective title, in their weight class. Drysdale, I beat him up for the first round, and he just so happened to catch me in the second round. Nobody ever got past the 3-minute mark with him. He even had 2 fights in the UFC. I fought Leo Lacy, a world class athlete too, as far as judo and jiu-jitsu, and people was expecting him to just submit me, and we went all 5 rounds. So I'm not really worried about Trevin and what he's going to bring. I don't think he's seen nothing like I've seen. So I'm not worried about him at all.
One more time back to that last fight. Did you guys share any words or anything after the fight?
Drysdale?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he wanted to do much talking after that. He wasn't feeling too well.
Do you think? Were you able to take away positives from that? In how bad you felt, in how distracted you were, with how the first round played out, though? Were you able to take away positives, or at least did your coaches see positives?
Yeah, like I said, we've gotten better from it. We've learned that one thing is I'm way better than I thought I was. We went to the ground within like the first minute of the fight, and he got me in his patented Darce. And if I'm not mistaken, he submitted, I want to say, Marcelo Garcia with a Darce. He's a multiple-time jiu-jitsu world champion. Yet, I was in the Darce, and he couldn't finish me with it. We hit the ground multiple times, and yet I still got up and continued to trying to censor myself, but beat the brakes off of him. So, we learned a lot as far as where my skill level is. So that, which kind of further showed me like my confidence was already high. I don't necessarily believe I'm cocky. I believe I have a high confidence in myself. I've been blessed with a God-given talent. So, my confidence was already high. It just made it skyrocket even in losing that fight.
Right, I'm like, you're already saying that you're confident, but if that told you how good you are, I think you were selling yourself possibly a little bit short than before.
Apparently a little. As far as sometimes I would end up listening to the media and what everybody else says and all this, the hoopla basically, and it would kind of get to me sometimes, and I would wonder, but I would still be confident even in then, but this has just made it worse because now, like when I run up on someone like Trevin or someone I know isn't who I've already fought or could even beat who I've already fought in fights that I could have won, I don't have any worries at all.
This confidence factor, have you felt a change? Has it shown through in training, or are you just now? Is it more of a mental thing because you're seeing how good you are in training?
I think it's kind of coming as far as my coaches. We're working on some new things and really evolving my game as far as doing certain things better, getting in better positions and capitalizing on a bunch of stuff. And, you know, because I honestly, even when I fought Drysdale, man, when I was on the ground, you know, I spent so much time in Memphis that I really wasn't even worried on the ground. You know, there's a point in the first round where I gave him an armbar when he got mount, just because I knew I could get out of it, you know. And I just kind of really get in positions and relax. But, you know, now we're learning, we're working on capitalizing on a bunch of positions and not letting anybody off the hook. You know, because I would let people off the hook, but there's no more of that.
And I got to figure that you've been your own harshest critic. So has there been a change in that? Have you been able, has that adjusted through this camp? Or are you still just as harsh on yourself?
I guess I'm still going to be like that. You know, nobody's going to put pressure on me like I put pressure on me. As far as a lot of people like to think that I, you know, talk a lot when it comes to fighting, and that don't make me humble. But that's not what I'm looking at. That's not my intentions. Like, I can still talk like I talk and be humble. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. You know, and that's like kind of keeps the pressure on myself to not get lackadaisic and, you know, and kind of chill out. And just so when I do it, that I don't have to be so hard on myself, because I said I was going to do it and I've done it, you know.
Well, if you're just telling us what you're going to do, I'm not trying to beat you into it, but how does this fight play out?
I'm still debating on if I want to, you know, kind of toy with him a little bit, or because his only hope is coming into the thing is he thinks he can break me, because he think I broke in the Drysdale fight, so he thinks he can break me. So I was thinking, you know, I just drag him out into the third round and finish him there. But, you know, I think I'm going to take him out in the first round, or, you know, as soon as I get the opportunity, you know, just take him out. You know, I'm not trying to be out here all night. I don't get paid by the hour. So I finish him, and I finish him quick.
Finish him quick. Do you think it's going to happen standing or on the ground, or we'll see where it goes?
Yeah, we'll see. Whatever he wants to do. I don't really care. You know, whatever he thinks he wants to do. You know, he's going to try to play his game, which is fine. He can. But it still won't be nothing compared to me playing, you know. So it doesn't matter. You know, he grabs me, he gets submitted. If he wants to strike, he gets knocked out. So, you know, his only hope is to try to catch me, but he got to cross like a 5-foot landfill just to reach me. So, yeah, you know.
There's 5 inches in height between you guys. Do we even have like a good estimation out there on what the reach difference is going to be?
Astronomical.
Astronomical. This is going to be the Earth trying to hit the sun. Okay, all right. 4 fights in Legacy FC, heading into Legacy FA. What's your thoughts on this promotion and what you've seen out of the first 2 events?
I didn't get to watch. I don't think I watched the first 2. I watched the end of the first one, and I was training for the second one, so I didn't get to watch it. But like I said, it's an honor, you know, for them to come out and, you know, allow me to be the main event. And so they work really hard with trying to get me an opponent. You know, Trevin is actually my second opponent. So, you know, they really work real hard, because it's hard for me to get opponents sometimes, a lot of the times. So they really work hard, and I'm honored for them to, you know, to do that for me.
I had people from the promotion before the announcement was made texting me, telling me, "You're gonna love the LFA 3 main event," and I was like, "Huh?" And they kept me waiting, and the announcement did not disappoint. Being a main event fighter, getting that recognition, are you starting to feel that, like, across social media and other avenues, that your hard work is being recognized?
Yeah, man. It's kind of at the point now where I'm just used to it. You know, I don't really think much of it. You know, I've been doing this, you know, for the longest, even as an amateur. You I've always been the upper card main event. My first fight in Legacy, I think, was co-main. Then I main evented, and I came out and did a after the co-main event. So I'm used to it. And my last one was the main event, so I'm used to it now. I don't really think much of it.
But I'm figuring that's got to be one of those things that's got to be helping you, because this is all about, again, getting paid, and everybody in the fight game is so horribly underpaid. At least with sponsors, it's a little nice to on the main event, right?
Yeah. As far as that, yeah, that do helps. But like even, man, I think I've got like some of the best sponsors in the world. Like Council Ford, they've been backing me, for a couple fights now, and they stuck with me just since the Drysdale fight all the way up until now when I was bugging everybody trying to get a fight, and Council Ford stayed behind me the whole time, even when I wasn't fighting, So, but it do helps being in the main event as far as getting sponsors, being able to say, hey, look, this is me. I'm on the poster. It's all about me. Everybody's coming to see, what I'm gonna do to whoever they put in front of me. So it do helps in that terms. But a lot of the times, man, honestly, I just don't even really think about it anymore.
And right now, do you feel still on this level, it's really your venue, again, fighting there, hasn't it been almost every time with Legacy? But do you feel that you have to do a job as that entertainer to sell tickets as the main event? Or, again, having fought there so many times, you've made a name for yourself there in Louisiana?
Yeah, every fight I've had with Legacy has been at the Nugget, man. Pretty soon they're going to have to sell me a share of it because, I've been there so much. But as far as entertaining, man, I don't honestly look to be entertaining, because when it's all said and done, I got to make sure my kids eat. It just so happens that my style ends entertainingly. I don't make a conscious decision to do it.
But you almost have to put that together in this day and age, mixed martial arts, where finishes get more attention. So it is a good thing, though.
Yeah. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. I take what's given to me.
And now, as the camp's leading up and going back down to 85, what has been the problem for you to try to find fights? Is it just no one wants to... Do you have any theory for what it is?
Nobody wants these problems, man.
That simple?
That's simple. Nobody wants these problems. They don't... It's a risk-reward type thing, I guess. They feel like, they don't want to risk their record or whatever the case may be. Man, it's hard for me to think like them because I'm not like them. Because me, it don't matter who I fight or where I fight them. I'm coming to make money. I know my worth. I know I have a name, but at the same time, that can be my problem as far as, people don't want to fight me without being on TV. Now it's at the point to where they know if they're fighting me, they can be on TV. So, that's why it's hard for me to get fights.
Yeah, and if people just think that anybody will say, there's a lot of fighters out there that say they'll fight anybody, but you look at Ryan's record, and if you don't know these names, I'm in the Southwest. I didn't know the first 4 guys you fought, but everybody since then has been stiff competition. Have you prided yourself on...
That's the thing, like even with the first guys, I had credible opponents, but they would all pull out on me. So we would end up basically having to find me somebody to fight. So it's like I mentioned it a couple years ago. That was like around the time where I was thinking about retiring, man, because I couldn't get a fight, because it was hard for me to find fights.
Not specifically it being that hard, but with the short notice change-ups, can you also look at that and say they were kind of growing periods to be able to handle those curveballs and then come out on top?
Man, I've been a martial artist all my life, man, so I don't really care to train for a specific opponent. I don't care what their name is. Like, even when we made the Drysdale fight, the only thing I asked when they called me about it was, are we getting tested? And he made a call, said they're tested, and the fight was made in, 5 minutes. I don't care who it is. I make sure I bring the best me. So I've been a martial artist since I was 18 months old, man. That's all I've been doing is working on making myself better. It don't matter if you drop out the last day, or whatever. Whoever shows up is gonna get business that day.
It's a long journey. It's a crazy journey for the mixed martial arts world. Do your team, you've talked about before, you just said that with a problem of finding fights, you'd one point thought possibly of retiring. Do you see that there is a light in that the end of this tunnel and that this will be a rewarding journey?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I'm on it, man. Like I said, I've been blessed with the ability to do something for my children that couldn't have been done for me. I wouldn't be doing this for no reason. I don't like to fight that much. I really don't. I'm doing this to make sure my kids are taken care of. And so, Legacy only had me for a couple more fights, man, before it's time to go.
How long do you think it takes to get that call to one of these bigger promotions?
Soon as I get my belt, man. That's what I want. I want to get a belt first. So, it won't be long. Trust me.
For you, past that point, there's other organizations. There's that next level. There's a One Championship. There's a WSOF, a Bellator, a UFC. A lot of fighters have a specific goal of the UFC. Do you have that goal, or is it the highest bidder?
It depends. This is, we'll get to a point where, I consult with my brother, my team, and we'll figure out what's the best fit for me. Other than that, it really, as of right now, it don't really matter.
Ryan Spann, we'll see you again at the Lake Charles Casino, his home away from home, the Golden Nugget Casino in Lake Charles, LFA 3, February 10th. Last but not least, I know you had more sponsors and people to shout out to.
Yeah, all my sponsors, World Gym, Beaumont, Kensal Ford, This Fit Fuel, Flippers, Skin Flicks. Everybody has been pivotal. My team in Lake Charles, with Bang Muay Thai affiliate, Performance Evolution. My team in Memphis Judo and Jiu-Jitsu. And also my other sponsor, Radiology Associates.
There'll be more Cage Minds Uncensored in just a moment.